Rogers TV.
And welcome everyone to the Meaford and St. Vincent Community Center, live on Rogers TV, the home opener and season opener of the MSL season for the Owen North Stars. They take on a team also without a game played this year in the Cobourg Kodiaks. Spencer Byers, and alongside me, of course, the MSL GM, Steve McCarthy. And Steve, obviously every new season breathes a new wind into your team as we'll get a chance to go to the moment of silence as well as the national anthem.
And the 4 WCBS students who tragically lost yesterday. Thank you.
Do you have a pen?
As I was saying there, Steve, breathes a new life into a team to get a chance to start a new season, and obviously 0-0 is a good start for everybody. So I guess, what do you feel like is the shining hope for your team coming into this second year in the MSL?
Well, we've made a number of roster changes from where we left off last year. We've added a lot of guys, especially in the D side, and we've added some veteran guys like Mitch Wild, who's got 10 years experience in the National Lacrosse League. He's come over as a free agent. And again, a bunch of young guys as well that we've added a lot of size, a lot of athletic ability. So, and Andrew Kidd also, who's a goaltender with Albany in the National Lacrosse League, will be joining Caleb Martin. So we think we've really strengthened our backhand, and hopefully we can score enough to, be competitive and stay in games. And we look forward to being a lot better than we were a year ago.
Caleb Martin is a childhood friend of mine. I guess I can say that technically. He and I went to high school together, which doesn't feel like that long a distance to me, but technically is. Caleb, obviously, was your star netminder last term, was very good for you guys, especially to begin the MSL season from my recollection. So nice to see him be able to get his spot back after a knee injury took him out of the NLL season.
Yeah, and then adding Andrew Kidd, they're both the same age, both 23 years of age. And
so they're both my age.
Both a lot of promise, yep.
Well, I'm not 23 yet, 23 in like 2 weeks, but, close enough, I guess. As you see the face-off there as Mitch Gustafson tries to win it. It does end up going to Owen Sound, and they will pick up possession. And again, the MSL rules are now a lot like the Senior B rules now, as the Senior B adopts some of the more, I'll say, modern rules, if you will. As Owen Sound will get the first chance of the game here. Moved across the top. That shot scores! First shot, first goal, and I believe that is Austin Blumbergs with the marker to begin the MSL season.
Yeah, Austin's a real handy guy for us to have. He spent a lot of time with Halifax in the NLL this year, got into a few games, and he's out of the Buffalo, New York area. He was with our club last year, and he can play up front or back door. So as you can see, he's 1 for 1 on shots.
Can't do better than that. Face off again, won by Mitch Gustafson, retrieved by Owen Sound. They're going to go quickly on a 3-on-2 the other way. Passed over that shot. Saved there by the netminder Jackson Brown. Ball is still loose. Where is it? It's now retrieved by the white shirts, and Cobourg will fire it the other way. And away they will come. Harass and stop there are the Kodiaks. So now they'll reset as Dante Koulis, former Owen Sound North Star, played that one down. That shot off the top does not make its way to the net. It's deflected and stopped. That ball's bounced, and it might be a 2-on-1, 2-on-2 now as that ball rolled to a North Star. Looking to fire that one off the mask. Rebound bounces, I think, almost back in the restricted area. I'm surprised that's not an in-and-out call, but it will go the Kodiaks' way. That shot saved by Martin as it skips into the netting, so the Kodiaks will keep it. Right across the top go the white shirts, looking to fire. Finally does, and beats Caleb Martin. That marker going.
Looked like it was Gareth Haig.
It looks like it was Gareth Haig.
Yeah, and again, he did a good job walking across the top. He really ran out of space there, but he caught Caleb giving up the far side there and, put it home.
As Gustafson. And actually, I'll mention why, because technically Gareth Haig's on here twice.
Actually, that's Ryan. 55 is his twin brother, Ryan. So even the coaching staff gets them confused.
But that goal does go to Gareth Haig. And Haig also is the face-off taker taking on Mitch Gustafson. As that ball was played quickly down by the Kodiaks as they'll go again. Played up the top now and right down into the corner. Ripped across the top. That pass in front wide open and make it a pair to begin the Kodiaks season.
Yeah, just a simple two-man game, and not quite sure who the bottom man was, but left his guy and he just leaked in there too easy. Yeah, that was Jeremy Searle that kind of got pushed out of the way and well executed on the Cobourg side.
As Alex Marner got that one. As that face-off I thought was won by Gustafson. That ball's still bouncing around and will finally be bounced by Owen Sound as Teeple will retrieve it. As now Owen Sound will go back on the offense. Good start for both offenses so far. As Watson will fire, that one goes wide. Retrieved though by Owen Sound, looking to shoot. That one saved by Brown and will stay the way of Owen Sound. That attempt by Josh Sanchez. Watson. Played over for Webster. Jackson Webster in! And a good save there by Brown. Had a chance to speak to Jackson Webster. You'll see that interview between the second and third periods here tonight. I'll also get a chance to talk to Cobourg Kodiaks number 27, Aaron Woods, during the first intermission. So you'll get a chance to see that. As the Kodiaks go back to work, that one picked off wherever it gets anywhere. It's Pageant, and now away will go the North Stars here on a 2-on-1. The other way, McNabb scores! Jake McNabb making his appearance in the MSL season. Has already had a hot start to the OSL season and continues that here tonight.
Yeah, Jake, he always seems a way to find the back of the net. Good job here by Jacob Gasparetti. He's a really good guy in transition. He moves it to Jake, and not quite sure how that got in, but it found a hole.
It found a hole. But Jake knew almost immediately after he shot it, Steve, that it beat him. So obviously there must have been an angle there on that short side that you and I just can't see from our angle.
Yeah.
As Mitch Gustin takes it and wins it and takes it. Gustin now all the way in. 5-hole and a good save there by Brown. Both netminders being tested early and often here in this one. Barely 3 minutes in. There's a mad dash down there by the Kodiaks. That one saved by Martin. Not sure where it went, but it scoots into the corner. Lost almost their footing there was the Kodiaks. Fired up now. Mariner lost that one. Bounced up now. Just caught there in the Teeple stick, and he'll now walk it into the offensive zone and wait for some offensive options. Buck. For Moran Weeks, back for Tanner Buck. Buck will just fire, and that one saved by Brown. Maybe a heat check there by the captain Tanner Buck, pardon me. As Cobourg now play it around. As Zach Thompson now plays it over. Back to the top, that shot saved there by Martin. Will bounce to a white shirt, however. Actually stayed on the floor for a little bit longer than I thought. It is now finally retrieved. That one saved by Martin, and it sticks right in the 5-hole. As up the floor will go Jake Gasparetti, who plays it off. There to Jackson Webster. Webster played it over. He'll take some bumps for his trouble as McNabb played it. Trying to get all around the top. Back for McNabb. McNabb will fire it. That one whistled wide. Is retrieved, though, by Webster. Webster, nice move. Passes it. Does miss the intended target there. And shot clock will go, and away it'll go the other way. I believe intended target there was Josh Sanchez. As now Nakamura with possession. Trying to get across the top, there are the Kodiaks. Played down into the corner, trying to get back into the middle. Now nice spin. Thought he stepped in, he did, so that one will go the other way.
Yeah, Aaron, nice move there by Aaron Woods, though.
That waiting to shoot. Gustafson fires finally, does end up going wide, as it will bounce almost into the netting. It does stay in play and stay for Owen Sound, who will keep possession.
Yeah, good job there by Colton Padgett for covering that loosey and keeping the offense alive here.
Played back now, that shot whistled wide, rebounded, that shot doesn't end up going on target. I'm not sure how that kept in the stick there of Josh Rosa, but it never ends up making its way onto Brown. As that ball played around the top now by the Kodiaks. As they wait to get all their guys on the floor. Mariner, that shot saved by Martin. That ball bounced. Where does it end up going? Right into the middle of the floor. Retrieved, though, by the White Shirts. Blocked and never got there. Taken now by Searle. Plays it up for Gasparetti. 3-on-3 the other way.
Yeah, and a good decision there by Jake Gasparetti. There wasn't anything there to push it towards the net, so he let the offense take control.
Dylan Watson, give it back there to Webster. Webster trying to get off the top. Played over now. Rushing down is Sanchez. Sanchez stepped in, but a good save by Brown regardless. As that ball fired back. Looking for a pass, gives it off there to Mariner. Passed off the top again. That shot faked, looking for an angle. That one I don't believe touched Martin. It doesn't, so that should go the other way. It was touched by a North Star, but they're going to call the over and back. I'm surprised there, Steve, but regardless, it'll be Owen Sound possession. Isaiah Moran Weeks now. Plays it into the deep corner. So coming off the top, that shot, I believe, got whistled wide, touches the roof, so it'll go the other way. And that was Xander Durkatz.
Yeah, good look by Durkatz again. He just got to make sure you hit the net in those open looks. You know, doesn't matter how hard you shoot it. If you don't hit the net, it's not likely to go in.
That ball got knocked right out of the stick, and that was Connor Knox, the first-round pick of the MSL North Stars.
Yeah, Connor Knox is a real, he's a beauty. I mean, he's going to be a sure first-round NLL or maybe the first defender taken. And
he was the first defender taken in the MSL draft.
Yeah.
Taken by yours truly, and not meaning you, Steve. I would like to get into him in a second here as Jackson Webster plays it down. McNabb scores! Jake McNabb gets a pair and puts Owen Sound back up.
And just a nice little curl by Jake to get up into the top area where he likes to shoot from, and Jackson saw him coming up and led him with the pass. Jake did a good job of just releasing it pretty quick. Sometimes he hangs on to the ball a little bit too long, but there he was, just got that angle. Defender had lost his stick, so he was able to reach around and found the back of the net.
We'll make sure I say, Adam Jones, teacher at St. Mary's, who I met as a 14-year-old at St. Mary's, I know rather well, and he came through my drive-thru, I think it was not a couple days ago, and he sung the praises of your first-round pick, Connor Knox, saying he was the first defender taken and all the accolades he had, which we will get into as this game goes on for Connor Knox. But it was nice to hear the head coach of this MSL North Stars just sing the praises of his first-round pick. And again, the first defender taken. So obviously showing how good Connor Knox is, and as you mentioned, could be and maybe should be the first defender taken in the NLL draft coming up as their season comes nearing to an end. As played around now by the North Stars, looking for Moran Weeks, and I'm not sure if he ever got a hold of it, but he had an angle past Brown if he did. As Moran Weeks now plays a little bit of a harasser there in the off-defensive zone. That ball gets loose, and Owen Sound retrieves it. And away they're going to come. Down the lane, that shot scores!
Yeah, Jamie Searle did a great job there picking up that loose ball that was created under a little duress there, and made no mistake. He had a chance earlier in transition and didn't quite bury, but again, Jeremy's another guy comfortable playing at both ends of the floor. We picked him up in a trade with Brampton, and you know, here we go.
Searle with a beauty there, and they're going to call something against Owen Sound, so they're going to give, I guess because they were late a guy.
I'm not sure what that was all about, but nonetheless.
They'll go the other way.
Didn't look like they had Mitch Gustafson out there to take the draw, and
that shot from the top, saved by Martin again as it skips into the netting. Again, playing in Meaford versus the Bayshore, the netting is a lot lower, so a lot of saves are going to go into the netting now that maybe wouldn't have at the previous home site. Trying to shoot that one, they do. I'm not sure if it touched Martin. It didn't, as that one got pounded into the pavement. They'll go the other way, as Blumbergs will start with it. That's down into the corner there. Nice pass in front. It makes its way there. Got about 10 seconds left on the shot clock. It's caught and left there for Buck. Buck over now. McNabb will fire. Good save. Ball does come loose, and McNabb retrieves it. So Buck's got to come back out here as Jackson Webster will hold it. Back now for Tanner Buck. That shot whistled wide into the netting. It will go. That was Josh Sanchez with the opportunity. That pass down into the corner. As Dante Koulis down for Woods. Woods will fire, steps in, but I believe Caleb made the save anyway.
He did make the save, but again, real nice pick and roll there with Aaron Woods and Dante Koulis at a very tough scoring opportunity that was thwarted. He might have stepped in the crease, but Caleb made a nice save anyway.
Sometimes you just got to make sure, Steve. Derek Katz. Another one of your draft picks. Third-round pick from my recollection. Webster puts that one wide, and a chance here for Cobourg to go if they pick it up, and they do. That ball was played back into the stick there of Nakamura. Now it goes into, Nakamura's stick. Koichi Nakamura. I wish I could pronounce that one better, but my English is just too strong. That one played into the middle. It skips everybody. Nakamura picks it up. He'll fire from a mile away. It's saved by Martin, and away will go Owen Sound. And rushing away is one of the north sides. He lost it, however, but retrieved immediately by Blumbergs. Blumberg trying to make his way towards the net. He'll now just kind of fist it towards McNabb. He does. Nice pass out front. Trying to skip away there was Dylan Watson, as he'll now rope his way off and play it back. Sanchez back for Watson. Watson right across for McNabb. McNabb will fire. That one saved. Ball right loose in front. Whip for McNabb again. That one saved again by Brown. McNabb's had quite a few opportunities there from his shooter spot. Here tonight, he's got 2 already from that spot just about. As Dante Koulis played by a Cobourg Kodiak. That shot saved by Martin right in the netting, and that one, it comes loose, and they're gonna call that. That goes against Colton Pageant, and I guess a slash would be my estimation.
Yeah, looks like it. That's the signal anyways from, I think it was, not sure if it was Josh Hiltz that made that call, but nonetheless, or maybe Mr. Coulter.
And that definitely is a slash. I didn't see that one on first look, Steve, I'll be honest. I thought he just kind of tumbled over him, but no, he definitely got him.
Well, you're going to get 2 for slashing. It's always nice to get a pound of flesh.
Very true. As Mariner will get a chance to start with it here on the Cobourg side of the floor. We'll mention getting numbers from the Kodiaks was a bit of an issue, so do pardon me if numbers do escape me. As that ball played down for Woods, back for Mariner. Mariner saved there by Martin, and it stops right by his foot. Good rebound control so far by Caleb Martin. That ball fired up and away they will go. Wild in, scores! Mitch Wild!
And just an exceptional goal in transition there. Again, the veteran Mitch Wild, you know, realizing that the power play didn't react off the save, and he got up the floor in a hurry. I'm not sure who that was that moved the ball up, but right in the stick. Nobody near Mitch, and he goes top side, top corner on the inside. So yeah, big goal when you're killing a penalty to be able to come away with an early power play or a shorthanded goal.
Wild was wild on that one because, again, nobody near him. Could have landed a 747 where he was standing. As that ball's bounced out of Mitch Gustin's stick, he does pick it back up, loses his footing, gets back up, and keeps the ball. In basketball, that's a travel. What? Mitch Gustin still got a hold of it. I don't know how. He's got that ball about 3 inches from his hand, in fairness, so he's just kind of holding it. Got about 5 left here on the shot clock. Now looking to pass it in front. Mitch Gustin's now going to fire, and that one is saved by Brown. Rather unconvincingly, but they all count as a save on the score sheet. And now Cobourg will play it back. Woods will make his way up the floor. Got about 7 left here in the first period. About 55 seconds left on the power play for the Cobourg Kodiaks. We're right now down 1-0 on the special teams goals as Mariner tried to equal that out, but a good save by Martin with the stick, who's looked pretty good here tonight.
Yeah, I think he's overcome any kind of early jitters after recovering from that knee injury. I'm sure he has a little bit of doubts about how it's going to feel first time out, but been pretty sharp so far. Never
really know, Steve. Moran Weeks now with possession, trying to get around. He will. Nice move. Isaiah Weeks. Moran Weeks got that one on target. The ball ended up bouncing behind the net, and it will go by way of the Kodiaks. Again, another one of your draft picks there is Isaiah Moran Weeks.
Yeah, he's another one of our 3 of the Ottawa contingent. Connor Knock and Jacob Gasparetti and Isaiah all come in from Ottawa to play with us.
What a carpool that must be. That ball played around, back to 5-on-5, and hot out of the bench comes Curtis Hall. That ball is bounced around. Got 3 seconds left to shoot. They're never going to get a shot away as the ball will now go Owen Sound's way.
Yeah, great job by Curtis Hall, just not letting up at all, getting right to the stick. And
ooh, and that ball just missed Connor Knock. The first round pick's now got to get back on his defensive position, and he's racing to get there. Chance now, though, for the away side as Wood trying to come across the top. He'll fire, and that one goes wide. Bounced right back, though, and picked up by Dante Koulis. Played over for Nakamura, back for Woods. Woods will fire, and Aaron Woods gets Cobourg back on the board and stops the bleeding at 4 consecutive for Owen Sound and brings the lead back down to 2 for Owen Sound.
Yeah, and again, it was that's the second goal that we've seen allowed off the wrong side of the floor for the goaltender, so I'm not quite sure Caleb lost himself a little bit there, but you know, Aaron Woods is a dangerous sniper at either side of the floor, and you know, they're going to want to have those ones back.
Face off won again by Mitch Gustafson as he bounces and is going to go. Gustafson looking to fend his way around. He'll now finally play it. That's into the stick there of Pageant. Over for Webster. Webster going to fire, and that one rang off the crossbar. And now away will come Cobourg. And late off the bench come the North Stars. Chance here to shoot. Koulis, great save by Caleb Martin. Dante Koulis, but guys probably got big on that one as he had the red carpet rolled out for him. But just couldn't beat a stout Martin, as now played around here by Mariner and the Kodiaks. Back for him. Now off the top, that shot handcuffed and missed. Retrieved, however, by Thompson. Right around again for Dante Koulis. Koulis will fire that one into the chest of Martin. Does he save it? He does! Sprawling, diving, Dominic Hashiking that one and be able to keep it out. As Buck plays it back now for Moran Weeks. Back for Moran Weeks. As he'll try to make his move around. Down there for Dylan Watson. Right down for McNabb, who got thrown down.
Yeah. There'll be a little bit of a hold or hook on that one. He got
hold was the call, and
got elevated, and still Jake got a shot away and a dangerous scoring opportunity.
Logan Holmes will go for it, number 2 there on Cobourg. So the first power play of the night for the Owen Sound North Stars. You're going to kind of see here on the bottom of your screen. Once McNabb gets around the screen, he gets wide open. He gets grabbed and then jumps and then gets choke slammed by Logan Holmes. Or Big Show, or The Undertaker, whoever you prefer in WWF or E history, who have used the chokeslam as their finisher. As Dylan Watson now will play it around Poudre the North Stars. Right up top now, that shot saved. That attempt by Derkatz, picked up though by the Kodiaks. You're just going to fire it down the floor. It misses the intended target. Martin goes to play it. Can Martin pick it up? He does. I thought. No, the ball bounces away, and Caleb Martin will now retrieve it and give it off to Derkatz.
Nice to see Caleb to come out to play the ball there. A lot of goalies just seem to tether themselves to the goal crease these days.
We've seen that in Junior B and Senior B, in fairness.
So good recovery. Didn't allow it to come off the backboards there.
Webster. Played down low. Great shot. Rebound. Another great save by Brown. That ball bounces right to him as he caught it. And now away will come the Kodiaks. Moran Weeks had a chance to get his first MSL goal of his career. Just could not get that one. Again, tonight is the home and season opener for the North Stars, while tonight is just the season opener for the Kodiaks. I believe you play them in a home-and-home tomorrow for their first home game of the OSL season, as there will be another call going against Owen Sound. That one is Pageant for the high stick, and there will be the whistle.
Yeah, you just
Stick just kind of ride it up there, Steve.
You got to be careful. You can't take penalties when you're up a man, you know, and it's a deflator on the bench, and it's just you've got that extra body to be able to defend, so you don't need to be taking penalties, especially in a non-scoring situation.
4-on-4 now for for 56 seconds, and a power play for 1:04 for Cobourg, and then we'll go back to 5-on-5 unless some more shenanigans happen. We'll see who 4-on-4 favors here with the ball starting with the Kodiaks. Played back, trying to get open, was Woods there. Woods will fire. Good save there by Martin. Ball bounces for Mariner, who will get a chance to play it now. Around it will go Zach Thompson. He gave it off there to Haig scores, and he gets his second.
Yeah, and again,
caught the rebound there off the boards.
Again, you can't allow guys to follow their shot and pick up the loose balls. Again, that's just a breakdown on the defensive side, and that's just why it's so infuriating as a coach to give up a penalty while you're on the man up. And Mitch Wild got caught kind of flat-footed, looking like he thought he might be able to get that ball and go, and instead of walking towards the Lucy, he was going the other way. So tough one, and good heads-up play by Haig to pick his own rebound and beat Caleb Martin.
That it is, as Haig will get his second of the night, as he'll fight for that face-off. The ball gets picked up by Cobourg, and they'll go. Getting roped off there are the Kodiaks, so will have to wait as it's played back, and a chance now for them to go. Played into the corner. Trying to come across the top there. Played down now for Dante Koulis. Koulis right in front. That's a good save, and that ball must have been touched, and it was, but they're going to call the contact against Owen Sound, which will force the ball the other way. So the Kodiaks now will have 1 second of 4-on-4 to make it 5-on-4, and here we go. Played down into the corner. Played up now for Mariner. Back for him. Mariner. 5-on-4 now for the Kodiaks. Try to tie it here. Back now for Aaron Woods. Woods will fire. Good save there by Martin. Ball comes loose. Fought. And sticked away there by both teams, as picked up there by Wild. Wild looking for a pass. He does have one, but it misses the intended target there. Ball, though, almost goes into the net. It doesn't going into the netting there, as Josh Sanchez just could not catch it.
Yeah, and that's, again, you just don't want to give up those possessions. You want to eat away on that 30-second clock and wind this penalty down, so you're going to give them another opportunity here on the offense with the man up.
Looking to fire there, back for Mariner. Mariner looking to fire, gives it off now. That shot scores! Does end up beating Martin as we're tied back up at 5, and that is a power play marker.
Yeah, again, that was from a tough angle. And again, not quite sure if what the result was. It's hard to see from this side of the floor through the mesh here, but found a way to get through Caleb.
As Patterson with that marker ties us all up here at 5 through the first period, and a violation there against Cobourg will give Owen Sound back the ball. As Owen Sound will go back to the offense for the first time in what feels like forever. Starts down there in the corner for the black shirts. That ball played over now for Webster. Webster looking to fire, plays it into the middle for Buck. Buck caught it. Never mind, it actually got played back there for, I'm not exactly sure who. It actually ended up Durkat's stick. Over and back is called, but the penalty is called first. I believe that's on the guy who was defending Buck, because Buck caught something up high, it looked like, and away for 2 or less will go Josh Harrington.
Yeah, well, this will give Owen Sound an opportunity.
Pardon me, Jake Harrington.
Take that lead back here. They'll be on the power play for 2 minutes or less with 1:21 here to go in this first period, and
Number 79, Jake Harrington. 2 minutes for illegal cross check.
As illegal cross-check is the call, Steve. It's now played around by the North Stars. As Webster down for McNabb. McNabb will fire. Good save. Missed by Buck, and now away will go Cobourg. Awkward save there, as away will come the Kodiaks. That shot whistled wide.
you know, Owen Sound's going to take a too many men penalty here. So again, there's just a second power play in a row that's been totally abbreviated by, in this case, a miscue off the bench.
And who's going to go serve it, I guess, is the bigger question now. It looks like it may be Tanner Buck or Jackson Webster. And never mind. Is nobody going to go?
Well, I guess.
I assume you got to throw somebody in the box. Doesn't look like they're gonna.
Well, they do need to. It's just a matter of figuring out who it's going to be.
So who are they going to send? And it looks like they're going to send Curtis Hall to serve it. So with 57.8 seconds left here in the first frame, we'll go 4-on-4 for the rest of it. And then we'll go 4-on-4 for a little longer to begin the second, and then a power play for Cobourg will commence. Not much of one, but still some. As Cobourg looking to continue their onslaught here, as they've had 3 straight. As that ball bounces into the bench and will go by way of Owen Sound. And Cobourg thinks it should go the other way. They're not going to get the benefit of that call. And now played up for Gustafson, who's played now for Jackson Webster. Webster looks to fire. That one, I think, went off the post or off the goaltender. Not sure which, but ball was bounced into a Cobourg stick. Down he goes. Ball comes loose, and up against the boards that ball will go. as Cobourg may be the ones to retrieve it. McNabb trying to. McNabb can't. He gets tripped up there as whistle's going to go, and what's the call going to be? It's going to be a violation against Cobourg. We'll give Owen Sound back the ball here with 23 and a half left.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it was a violation, why it wasn't called a trip. Other than that, I don't know why.
That's also true.
They wouldn't have gotten the just let it play on. But
Martin will go to the bench, 5 on 4 for the last 12 seconds here. So last shot should go Owen Sound's way here if they can get what they're looking for. Xander Durkatz back for Jackson Webster. Webster now for McNabb, back for Webster. Fire now for Buck. Buck will fire. That one goes wide, and that will be the period. 5-5 after one between these two sides, Steve, and a good first period, I would say, for the North Stars. Yet they come still deadlocked.
yeah, I think both teams will have mixed views on how it went. I mean, you know, there was a lot of good plays, especially offensively on Cobourg's side of the floor. Caleb made some big saves, as did Jackson Brown. Yet both of them let 5 goals in, which is certainly a lot for a period of lacrosse. So I think both teams won't be happy with how they play defense, and you know, we'll see if things tighten up from here on in. Again, first game for both teams. You know, obviously Owen Sound first time together today, other than this morning had a shoot around, and you know, I don't know the Cobourgs had a lot of activity on the floor either. So we'll see how the next 2 periods work out.
As we'll now go for our first intermission of the period. Coming up after the break, it'll be my interview with Aaron Woods of the Cobourg Kodiaks. Coming up next as you watch MSL Lacrosse here on Rogers TV.
You're watching an interesting local show on Rogers TV and you want to know more. That's when you head to rogerstv.com. Our website provides more information about our programs, our hosts, our schedule, and about how you too can get involved with Rogers TV. Visit us online at rogerstv.com.
This is a perfectly healthy child. What's unhealthy are birth alerts. A racist practice that may stop this Indigenous mother from going home with her newborn. Become an ally. Rise above racism in healthcare.
For me, the end was just the beginning. I felt I must come. If I did not come at once, it would be too late. And these places that are watered with the best blood of Canada might only be names and memories. I see it in the soldiers, the grief I know so intimately. And I will not abandon these men to it. The isolation wears on me. Slowly, the silence takes over, as if my heart has given out of air. I cannot talk. I can only paint.
For more than 2 years, Mary Ryder Hamilton painted the battlefields of the First World War, creating an unforgettable visual record of service and sacrifices at immense personal cost.
With Rogers TV, you can cheer on the home team from the comfort of your living room. We'll head to the rink, the field, the court, or the pitch, so you don't have to. Tune in and cheer on your local amateur athletes on Rogers TV.
Welcome back here to the Meaford and St. Vincent Community Center, and here with me, Aaron Woods of the Cobourg Kodiaks. Aaron, big period for you guys, 5-5 after one here against the Owen Sound North Stars. What has it been like for you guys being in that first period?
Yeah, no, it's great. It's a whole new group of guys, new year, so we're just looking to, get to know each other, see how each other's styles are, and see how each other play, and come out of the first period on the road tied up, we're right where we want to be.
Obviously, your first game of the year as well as the Owen Sound North Stars' first game of the year. So what was that kind of like hitting the legs under you guys and kind of getting through that first period of the first game?
Yeah, you know, there's a lot of excitement going into the first game, but then as soon as that whistle goes, it's right back to business. And, you know, same lacrosse that we're used to playing, maybe a couple of shifts to get into it, but the intensity picks up quick, and, you know, we're right back into it.
Now again, 5-5 after one here. Aaron, my last question here for you is you got a marker in the period, 40 minutes left to go. What do you feel like is the key for you guys to be able to get a win in your first game of the year?
Yeah, I think we just need to keep doing what we're doing, you know, utilizing our possessions, pushing the ball up on defense. Our goaltending's playing great, so on the offensive side of the ball, you know, we're just going to work on putting the ball in the net and, you know, see what happens.
All right, thanks so much, Aaron Woods of the Cobourg Kodiaks. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, we're right back with the rest of our first intermission as you watch this here on Rogers TV.
Public transit, garbage pickup, parks and recreation programs, snow removal on your street. How can you stay informed about these and other important local services? Tune to City Council coverage on Rogers TV. See your community leaders at work on Rogers TV City Council coverage. You're watching an interesting local show on Rogers TV and you want to know more. That's when you head to rogerstv.com. Our website provides more information about our programs, our hosts, our schedule, and about how you too can get involved with Rogers TV. Visit us online at rogerstv.com.
In baseball, there's nothing more important than making it home.
George Springer has tied the game.
Doesn't matter how you get there.
It's gone!
But I do it with style.
Boy, has he got some kind of power.
And a little swagger, too.
Because no matter where you happen to be.
Oh, what a play!
There's only one place.
Got it!
Jays fans call home.
Sportsnet. Sportsnet.
Sportsnet.
Sportsnet, home of the Blue Jays.
This is a brain in urgent need of mental health care. But because 3 out of every 4 Indigenous people experience racism in healthcare, she may not get the help she needs. Become an ally. Rise above racism in healthcare.
Hola.
That thing doesn't understand a word you're...
Shh. We're talking.
In this world, you never know what you'll find. Chicken jockey!
Oh my God, are you all right? Your head is huge.
A Minecraft movie.
Welcome everyone back here to Meaford and St. Vincent Community Center. Spencer Byers and alongside me, Steve McCarthy. And Steve, 5-5 after one. Obviously a high-scoring period, 10 goals in that one. But with that being said, obviously the offense clicking pretty well for you guys. McNabb is a bring up from the senior B team with a couple of goals. And you obviously can't be too disappointed with the first game of the year being, well, a good offensive performance.
Yeah, I mean, we've had a couple, you know, Mitch Weil got one in transition, so did Jeremy Searle, so that's something we're going to have to get as we continue to look to build our offense. And, you know, Jake is Jake. He always seems to find the back of the net no matter what level he's playing at.
Well, with that, obviously you got a lot of young guys there. Connor Knock, to mention one. Isaiah Moran-Weeks, to mention another. I believe Josh Sanchez as well. What do you kind of look at with those young guys, seeing them play their first MSL game tonight?
Well, you just want to watch them and hope and see that they're playing with confidence. You know, they're all skilled guys. This is a tough league to get into and establish yourself. So at least you got to perform with confidence and see where things track after that. But you know, to lose your confidence in this level, you really have no hope of any kind of success.
Well, Steve, we'll get a chance to see what the second period looks like. 20 minutes coming up next here. Second period is underway after this as MSL Lacrosse continues here on Rogers TV.
With Rogers TV, you can cheer on the home team from the comfort of your living room. We'll head to the rink, the field, the court, or the pitch, so you don't have to. Tune in and cheer on your local amateur athletes on Rogers TV.
It's time to get a little messy.
Thursdays, Top Chef heads north.
Welcome to Toronto.
And when the competition hits Canada,
Poutine. They're here to fight for over $500,000.
A lot of dough on the line, right?
there are no apologies allowed.
Am I missing one? Oh my God. Woo.
Sorry, not sorry.
My job's not done until I win.
Can I compete?
Top Chef, all new, Thursdays at 9 on Bravo.
As I looked upon the battlefield in front of me, a German star shell lit up the desolate landscape. I watched as a bullet smashed through the bridge of my nose and left me to the mercy of the darkness. I worried I would be dependent on others for the rest of my life. But Sir Arthur Pearson and the staff of St. Dunstan's had other plans. With their help, I knew I could be self-reliant, and I wanted to bring this idea home to Canada. I wanted Canadians to know that we could hold jobs, that we could contribute, that regardless of sight, all would read, that we, the blind, would shape our own lives, our own destiny.
Blinded by a sniper's bullet in 1915, Edwin A. Baker went on to co-found the Canadian National Institute for the Blind, shaping a path forward for the blind across Canada for generations to come.
Public transit, garbage pickup, parks and recreation programs, snow removal on your street. How can you stay informed about these and other important local services? Tune to City Council coverage on Rogers TV. See your community leaders at work on Rogers TV City Council coverage.
And welcome back here to the Meaford and St. Vincent Community Center, live on Rogers TV. MSL Lacrosse continues. Second period about to be underway between the Owen Sound North Stars and the Cobourg Kodiaks. Spencer Byers alongside me, the MSL GM, Steve McCarthy. And Steve, I got to break the fourth wall a little bit. I locked my keys in my car when I showed up here at about 6:15, and man, that set me on a bad start to the day, but I got the car unlocked. The CAA driver was pleasant enough to get my keys out of my car, so I now have my suit with me. I got my charger with me. I got my ice cap that's fully melted now, but it's okay. So the guys had a good first period. I'm going to have a good second period, and we'll see how the third period shakes out, I think, Steve. Right now has kind of been my motto.
Well, at least both teams are they're starting the second period on an even keel, the way they started the first period. Although Owen Sound will be going on the man down in 38 seconds, an abbreviated power play will come Cobourg's way.
Wait, a whistle went there. I'm not sure exactly what that was. So Owen Sound will start with it. They now get the whistle to begin play. So 4-on-4 again continues for the first 30 seconds here of this first or second period. And then a power play, as you mentioned, a pretty small one, but still one for Cobourg. As Webster out around the top. Two guys collide. Chance now for Webster to fire. He plays it over. Back now for McNabb. McNabb looking to fire. He does. And a net save, or stick save there by Brown.
Yeah, again, a couple good looks there. Durkatz was very unselfish there. Dumped it down to Jake, and he hesitated a little bit and kind of put it in the breadbasket of Jackson. But again, Jake has a way of scoring in those situations. So.
That he does. Played around the top now. Mariner down for Woods. Woods fires, and a good save there by Martin, as now Wild will make his way down the floor. Martin will just cruise into the offensive zone. And they'll look to fire just about as he waits here. And they're still, I thought, short a guy. They now will get that fourth and now fifth guy on the ice, or on the floor, pardon me, as now both teams are back to 5-on-5. Minute into the second frame. Buck. Right around the top, Buck looks to fire it. Now it's a nice move. That shot saved there and then caught as right down the floor was a Cobourg Kodiak. That ball might hit the referee. Finally is retrieved. That shot saved by Martin. Just made himself big. Big like a bear, might I add. As now the North Stars come back the other way quickly. That shot from a mile away, saved. As that one was taken by Paget.
And again, that's Colton Paget's just pretty new to box lacrosse there, had a really successful collegiate career, and but that's probably a shot that, unless he's going to score, coaches won't be too happy with it.
As now Cobourg trying to make their way back into the offensive zone here. That ball whistled by everybody, but picked up by Koulis. Right across the top, that shot saved right in the net there. That was Ryan Hay. As now away will come Pageant, who plays it into the corner there for Dylan Watson. Watson back for Webster as he'll play a little pass the parcel there between the two. Watson and Webster. Back for Watson. Down for Webster. They continue to pass around that package. That shot right off Brown, picked up by McNabb. McNabb looking for a pass. He does finally come around, and he'll now escape and play it over there for Sanchez. Sanchez, nice move there. Finally gets the screen, shoots around, and again, a nice stick save there by Brown.
Good look. He came across body, tried to bring it back short side, but just couldn't bring it in close enough, and Jackson Webster got enough of that to corral it in the crease. Or pardon me, Jackson Brown.
Out of Jackson's and Cole. That shot ends up beating Caleb Martin.
And again, that's
Woods.
That's a one-on-two situation where Aaron Woods just uses his athleticism and his stick skills to step in there. You know, he's up against Noah LeBar here, and Noah playing off his. Mitchie Wild reached in with the stick, but again, you just have to be more committed there on the D side, and that's a tough one to give up early in the second period here.
Woods again was one of the top performers last year for this Kodiak squad. Won though by Mitch Gustin off that face-off and played over now. Stopped up is Moran Weeks. Played around now by the North Stars. Looking to shoot there is Blumberg's now around by the North Stars. As Buck now gets a hold of it. Buck will fire. That one ends up going wide. It's bounced near the red line. Is retrieved, however, by the North Stars, but they might have to fire from a mile away. It will be Buck to shoot. That one saved by Brown. Away they will come, though, will the Kodiaks. That ball was just caught.
Yeah, Nick Ellerton made a nice stab there to keep that ball in his stick. Jackson Brown got a little too excited there, seeing a guy go in transition.
He's now trying to get away. Or the offense, that ball misses two different. White Church picked back up, though, by Koulis. Got about 6 seconds left here to shoot. Koulis will look to fire, tries to make his move. Koulis will fire, it's wide, and that will be the shot clock. Picked up now by Curtis Hall, and he'll now run up the floor. Hall leaves it off there for Dylan Watson. Webster for Sanchez. Played back now for Sanchez behind the net, back in front. That was McNabb, and he will get the call as Isaiah Moran Weeks will pick it up. Martin will make his mad dash towards the bench as Webster shoots. That one saved, and now back to the man advantage will go Owen Sound. We'll see if they can keep this man advantage, unlike they did in the first.
Yeah, they certainly going to want to use as much time as they can in the offensive end to try to turn this 0 for 2. The last two power play opportunities resulted in penalties, negating that opportunity. So.
As Jake Harrington will sit again for the Kodiaks, as a chance here for Owen Sound to go back on the power play, something they haven't had a whole lot of time of due to self-inflicted wounds. As McNabb right across the top, back for Jake McNabb. McNabb will fire, that one ends up going wide to touch the roof, it does! And that's another thing, is the Bayshore already has a low roof. The Meaford and St. Vincent Community Center, a little lower. Chance now away for the Kodiaks here on the penalty kill, never shot it. It never ended up getting on Caleb Martin there in the end, as that one bounced, ends up getting right into Mitch Wild's stick. Mitch Wild passed in front, scores! Colton Paget finally gets himself on the board, assisted there by Mitch Wild, and that was a wild sequence for Owen Sound.
Again, Teeple made a great job recovering in transition. Mitch Wild again holds on this 3-on-1 little fake, makes the guy come to him, and Paget does a great job just hesitating, dumping it below Jackson's glove there, and Jackson Brown, who's made some huge saves there, couldn't quite react quick enough to keep that one out of the net.
That one ties the game back up at 6 as Gustin again continues his hot start there on the dot. Gustin will take a shot. That one had an angle but misses, and a chance here for Cobourg to go, and they're gonna go. 2-on-1. And away will go Holmes. That one saved by Martin. Got enough of it to send it the other direction. Down went a North Star. That ball is still loose. Can they get away? They can. Up now for Blumbergs. Around the top will go Sanchez. Sanchez down for that looked to be double fours. Back now for Sanchez off the shot there by Watson. Back in front for Watson. Watson got a hold of it, and he'll take a couple whacks for his trouble.
Again, that's hard to believe they can get picked up for a call there. He took a pretty good high stick there after he followed through for that shot.
Slipping and falling there was Harrington as he'll now play it around.
Yeah, it's a little greasy out there on the floor. Again, not a lot of lacrosse played in this building, and
as Caleb's got to get back to the net there, that ball got kind of fished around and fired up as Mitch Wild should be the first one there, and he is. Wild will now kind of hold up. Nice pass over for Buck. Buck makes the dash off the post, and I think technically saved by Brown. I'm not ready to touch it, but doesn't matter. It didn't beat him.
Yeah, it didn't hit his backside and go in, so that's important for sure for Jackson's.
That ball is deflected before it ever gets anywhere near Caleb. Away will come Owen Sound. They were looking for the stretch pass there for Padgett. It now does get to him. Played across, nice pass, that shot scores! Jackson Webster finally gets himself on the board here tonight. 7-6 here, 13-16 into this, or 13-16 left in the second period.
Yeah, we've been waiting for that to happen. Jackson had an outstanding rookie campaign this year with Las Vegas in the National Lacrosse League. He bided his time for the first 3 or 4 weeks of the season and got in and made quite an impact, and couldn't get him out of the lineup, and we look forward to seeing him light it up quite a bit here this season.
I had a chance to talk to him pregame. You'll see that interview during the second and third periods as Mitch Gustin fishes that one into the netting there with some fighting between him and the white shirts. Has now retrieved by said white shirts, and they'll now make their way up the floor. Chased though by Connor Knock. Knock will force him around, and again, I would like to talk about his accolades as, again, head coach Adam Jones was gushing to me through the Tim Hortons drive-thru that I happened to work at. Chance though for Cobourg. That one saved by Martin. Rebound. That one, I think, shot or passed wide. Not sure which. Doesn't really matter which. As that ball played down now. That pass around. Played across. Doesn't end up getting to the stick. That shot there saved by Martin. That one on Holden Patterson. That ball stuck behind the net and held by Caleb Martin. And now away will come Mitch Wild as he'll dash into the offensive zone. Again, short bench for both sides here. Wild makes his way towards the net. He'll fend himself off and find an offensive option here. He finds McNabb. McNabb down for Buck. Buck plays it over. Durkatz, nice swim. Durkatz, nice shot. And that's a better save by Brown. Brown looking to make the long pass. It ends up just being a medium-sized pass as it makes its way there to a Kodiak as Mariner plays it down. That was Thompson. Thompson now with it. Played around. Woods for, I want to say that's Koulis. It is Dante Koulis. Koulis will fire! And the former North Star gets himself on the score sheet with a goal.
And again, it's Dante Koulis can fire the ball, but again, you gotta expect your goaltender to make those saves. So I'm sure, again, Caleb would like to have that back. Somewhere it found a hole on him, and again, late in the shot clock, you got to be able to keep the guy from getting those shooting lanes, and Dante did a good job back pedaling into get himself a look at the net, and we're all knotted up again.
That we are. Neither team has been that far away from the other. 5-2 was the largest lead tonight as that ball is scooped and fired right into the Cobourg net. And even Cobourg said, yeah, that's their ball. And that was a 5-2 lead for Owen Sound before they bled the 3 to tie it back at 5s, and it's been that close ever since. McNabb now with it, looking for a pass. Thrown down there was, I was Rosa. That ball now over for McNabb. McNabb fired it. I thought he had an angle, but a good save there by Brown to get over. And a chance there for Cobourg. That ball bounced and got away from the Kodiaks. They now play it around.
You've got Jake McNabb now pinned down low. He's got to play some defense here. We'll see if Kodiaks try to expose him a little bit here.
Played around now. Trying to get away there is Thompson. Thompson plays it over. Over now. They're going to have to fire. That one saved by Martin. That thought was touched by a Kodiak there in the restricted area. Doesn't matter. Up now for McNabb, who leaks away after playing some defense. McNabb! Good save there. That ball bounced under the corner and picked up by Haig. That's Ryan, who bounces it and finally finds the stick there of a Kodiak, who will now wait up for the offensive options. That is maybe the advantage of having an offensive player playing some defense, is they do have a chance to kind of have a really good chance if the ball does get its way to a defender. That ball bounces and bounces and bounces and ends up in the stick of Mitch Gustafson finally. That ball fired and it gets all the way up the floor. Paget will fire it. That one right into the stick there and saved. Very, very quick action here in the middle stanza of the second period. Has now just walked up the floor by Holden Patterson. I guess both teams kind of feeling the effects of the end-to-end action here the last couple of minutes. As Woods for Koulis. Koulis played up to the top. Patterson fires it, never makes it on target. Koulis plays it into Patterson. That ball again never got on target. Did it touch Owen Sound North Star? It did.
Yeah.
Deflected out of play. Koulis starts with it, bounces it for Patterson. Not sure where the ball is. What's it going to go? And they're going to give it back to Owen Sound. A chance to run here for the North Stars. Played up the floor, misses, and wait, a whistle's going to go here in the back. And they're going to send a Kodiak. I'm not exactly sure what happened there, as both goalies will now go for a quick water break. We'll see if we got a replay on that one, because again, it was behind the play, whatever happened, but away for two or less will go Zach Thompson.
Yeah, it was a slashing call against Zach Thompson. Not quite sure what happened. And again, unfortunate for the Owen Sound. They weren't able to complete that transition play. Keeple had a step on his defender, and the pass was in behind him, and he wasn't able to corral it.
Another power play now for Owen Sound. Again, they have not been able to have a lot of those without taking a penalty themselves, so we'll see what they can do on this one, as Caleb will take his long walk back to his bench. And actually still some wardrobe malfunction there for Jackson Brown, so now he'll make his way back to the Cobourg net. As Xander Durkatz will get a chance to start off the power play for the North Stars with Josh Sanchez, Jake McNabb, Tanner Buck, and Jackson Webster on the floor. McNabb, Sanchez, right around for Buck. Webster, right around the net. McNabb gets it back from Durkatz, back for Webster. Webster over for Buck. Buck has a wide open pass, shot, great save there by Brown, rebound. I thought picked up almost there by Sanchez. That one should be stolen, and it is by Jake McNabb. Active stick by the offensive man there.
Yeah, great anticipation by Jake, and Jackson Webster does not throw the ball real well. That woody he uses must be pretty heavy, because he looks a little awkward with it, and
looks metal too. That ball right down for Buck. Buck back. What a nice pass. Nice move. Better save again. That ball bounces. They're going to say it touched off of Sanchez in the restricted area, so it will be Cobourg ball, as Ryan Hagel start with it.
And again, I think if you're Owen Sound, it's they're pressing a little bit here on the man up. They haven't had any success, and you really want to be patient, look for a really good look, and not settle for stuff that there's a low percentage, and you might have more success.
That ball fired out of play. Was it touched by Owen Sound? It was not. Just Connor Knox' stick was in the way, and that ball got airmailed about 20 feet out of bounds. That kick was wide, wide, wide left. As now over for McNabb, past the parcel there with him and Watson. Watson now looking to fire, back over. Now up top for Webster. Webster, nice pass. What a block there. That was almost a surefire one there for McNabb.
Oh, and he wasn't.
Durkatz gonna have to fire here with seconds left. That one deflected out of play. So it should go the way of Cobourg, and it does.
Well,
fired up the floor.
you know, they're going to come away empty again on another power play without a lot of really good looks. So again, that's something that has really separated them and Cobourg in this game so far.
As now they're going to make their way towards the net of Cobourg again. They're still down a man for about 15 seconds, but there's basically no difference between shot clock and game clock. Trying to make its way towards the net. That shot saved by Caleb Martin. Might be a chance here for Owen Sound. Got about 6 seconds left here as Connor Knock will make his way up the floor. The rookie, the first-round draft pick. Plays it off now there to Buck, and that is the back to 5-on-5. So fruitless again on the power play, but as you mentioned, a lot of chances for Owen Sound, which is a good thing. McNabb tries to get around. He'll get the screen, and they're going to call it there against Josh Rosa. And away will go Cobourg the other way. That ball fired, deflected before it ever gets anywhere near as Gasparetti goes the one in the way there. That ball's bouncing towards the Cobourg bench and whacked out of play there by a North Star.
Yeah, it looked like it was Noah Labar that inadvertently knocked that loose ball into the penalty box, and fresh 30 for Cobourg.
Mariner played up there for Patterson. Patterson back for Thompson. Thompson over now. Mariner, that one blocked as Martin went diving for it. And wait a second, there's a conversation going on. They're going to say it's Cobourg's way. That does, I think, make sense. 7 minutes left here in this second period. A lot faster this period than the last, but in fairness, there's been 6 less goals between the two sides. That shot from Mariner, pardon me, better save by Martin, who caught that one, I'm not sure where. As you wait, he's down here. I think he might have caught it up high.
Yeah, that would look like a tough spot, somewhere up in the neck or collarbone area. I'm sure that's a stingy one.
Must not feel nice. Played over now. Sanchez will fire. That one deflected into the corner. Webster picks it back up. Webster right across. 2 different North Stars there. Caught, ended up by Sanchez. Gonna have to get away here with 6 left in the shot clock. And he stepped in, I think. Wait, there's gonna be a penalty going against Cobourg for a hold. They're gonna get a reset on it. No, they're not. So they're gonna say no reset and a hold going against, it looks to be Logan Holmes again. And that's the same thing he got called for the first time he took a minor, because he choke slammed poor Jake McNabb.
Yeah, this is a tough call on Holmes. I mean,
end of the shot clock.
It was kind of debatable whether even, you know, on the end of this play, where the penalty got called, whether Sanchez was actually in the crease, but the referee has a better vantage point than we do up here, and I guess, in their opinion, it was well-deserved.
We'll see if the very good attempts this time change for a goal. That shot whistled wide. Does it end up dying? It does. It is retrieved there by Durkats off that Watson shot. Back now for Durkats. Watson. Durkats. Rosa back for Watson. Watson fires. That one deflected. That ball bounced into the corner. I thought picked up by Durkats. It is not. Chance now for Cobourg to go. They're not able to go as chased now there by Durkats. Go the Kodiaks. Played across there. As now the Kodiaks do have a possession. Towards the Koulis. Koulis looking for an angle here. He's only got 5 left to shoot. He'll just dump it there for Woods. Can Woods get on target? The answer is no. And he'll take a couple whacks for the trouble there. Was the defender in front of him.
Yeah, well
which
defended.
Is Teeple.
Yeah, good job by both Teeple and I think it was Dylan Watson playing a little D back there, and they did a good job getting on top of his stick and not letting him pull it out between the two of them.
Webster, Watson. Played across, what a pass! Great save by Brown. That was on a wild Webster. And now start with it. Again, great chances, just nothing coming here for Owen Sound. Played back, Buck, that one deflected out of play, so it will be Owen Sound's ball again with a fresh shot clock to boot.
Yeah, they're getting some better looks here as they get a little more comfort here. So with 40 seconds, they'll have a good opportunity on this possession.
That one saved there, Watson. Looking for a pass here, gonna have to pass it. Got in the way there, did Durkats, picked up by McNabb in the, I'll say basically neutral zone. Durkats looking for an option. Wild will make his way, I think, off the floor. That ball almost airmailed past Webster. He does end up retrieving it. They got about 15 left here on the power play, about 15 left on the shot clock now as time continues to roll away. That shot, no, it's not, passed in front. Great save by Brown. A quick stick by Durkats, not quick enough. That ball airmailed all the way down to his counterpart in Caleb Martin, who comes out and says, thank you very much.
And again, Kodiaks are able to kill off another penalty here, and if Owen Sound was able to capitalize on some of these power play opportunities, they'd certainly be extending a lead.
That pass down, it misses McNabb. McNabb does retrieve it. McNabb will fire! Make it 3 for number 3. Jake McNabb, 8-7 Owen Sound.
Again, Jake went short side. I think Jackson Webster guessed off the body language of Jake, and not sure if it hooked in his stick or whether he had intention to come back across and comes, but nonetheless, again, Jake finds it back.
There too by Ryan Haight.
Yeah.
Or Haight, pardon me. Again, Jake McNabb, a call up from the senior B Owen Sound team. Steve has been very good tonight with the shot. Obviously, he's known as a scorer at the OSL level, but it's nice to see that translate here tonight to the MSL level. As Gustin, I think, technically won that faceoff and went right to Woods. As Woods airmails it, but it's caught before it gets to the Owen Sound bench. Bounced, and a chance now for Cobourg here on the offensive end. 3:50 left here in this second frame. Around by the Kodiaks. Down now for Mariner. That shot scores! Quickly tied there as Mariner gets his second of the night. And we'll make it 8-8.
And again, Owen Sound's just had trouble all night tonight, containing that top side and blocking out shooting lanes. Again, Alex Meunier is a really talented shooter, and he goes just right around his man there, and I think that was Mitch Gustafson, and beat Caleb Martin up top. And again, that's frustrating when you get the lead back and the next shot goes in. So again, you're going to want to...
Nice win there by Gustafson, right in the Teeple stick. Teeple now plays it down for Blumbergs. Right around goes Blumbergs, down for Buck. Buck right in front, Webster! Great save there by Brown as it bounces sky high and is retrieved by the Kodiaks. They have a chance to go here, and they're gonna go.
Yeah, Jackson Webster's had a lot of good looks. He has buried the ball once tonight, but he keeps getting those kind of looks. He'll
bury a couple more.
He'll get a couple more on the score sheet.
As Thompson looking to fire, that one saved by Martin. Mariner picks it up, and another great save by Caleb Martin.
Again, just a lackadaisical effort on the D side, allowing the offensive player to split both of them. No box out there, and Caleb Martin had to come up with a huge save, which is, again, got to be big for his confidence after letting that last shot in.
That second one, obviously, was him stopping to recollect himself, so that was a very quick read and react on that second shot by Mariner, who had all the time in the world to fire in the end. Buck fake fires, I believe that one was saved. Yes, it was, so it won't be an over and back, so Martin will get a chance to play it.
Yeah, just off the shoulder there, so Bucky hasn't had much luck with his perimeter shooting tonight, but he's getting closer.
Played over now, does get there in the end, shot scores! Dylan Watson finally, with all the shots he's had on the power play and even strength, gets himself a goal. 9-8 Owen Sound.
And again, Dylan's such a skilled player, former #2 overall pick in the National Lacrosse League draft, and that'll be a little monkey off his bat. And again, they get late in the second period, and they'll want to be able to build on that and not give anything up in the last 2 minutes and 14 seconds.
As Ryan Haig will not take the face-off this time against Mitch Gustafson. It will be
Koichi Nakamura, who's a pretty good draw guy, actually. So,
well, it's immediately won by Gustafson, but they're going to say a violation. We'll give it to Nakamura, who called it himself. He pointed down first. Another referee called it and said, I guess you're right.
The international language of...
the point, as Thompson in, that one deflected, never got onto Martin. Will it say, well, it's pounded to the pavement? We're going to say it touched. No. Hiltz calls it, and it will go the Cobourg way. I thought it had to take a deflection, but obviously as we've seen, during the junior B and the senior B seasons, the ball going into the pavement does create some pretty wicked bounces here at Durham and Meaford. Nice move there. That shot saved by Martin. It bounces and stays there with Caleb Martin as away will go. Teeple and Owen Sound. Whistle's going to go! And they're going to say too many men against Owen Sound.
Again, that's just an absolute killer. With 2 minutes left in the period, you're up a goal. And to take a bench penalty with too many men is, they're going to want to have that one back. So instead of being able to build on that, there was no need for it either. They had an easy break off the bench and just got a little excited, I guess.
Young team on the Owen Sound side of the floor, so obviously that can have played well into that, but yeah, regardless.
But I mean, that's a responsibility of whoever's working the door. They have to they harness that player in and let him go when the player steps into the change box area. And
as power play goes back to Cobourg, they've got a power play goal. That went off, I think, the post, but it's picked up by Owen Sound. As away they will come. Over now for Mitch Wild, who's going to dash into the offensive zone. Wild's going to fire it. Wild scores! Mitch Wild makes it a pair for him, and it's a second shorty. Makes it 10-8 Owen Sound.
And that was a little backspin there. You could see Jackson Brown trying to will that ball from behind his buttocks, and the bounce here just got over the line. Jackson couldn't quite reach back and scoop it out.
As Gustafsson will go against Nakamura again. I had a chance to speak to him, very respectful. I really liked my little conversation I got with Coachy when I was looking for Aaron Woods, for my interview tonight with the Cobourg Kodiaks. Immediately shook my hand. I really liked that.
Yeah, Coach, he's a very well-traveled player. He's played in a lot of teams in between Senior B, the Arena Lacrosse League, and once attended the Toronto Rock training camp.
That shot saved there by Martin, and that kind of stung him as he kind of came up labored there for a second. He's going to look to fire. He's just going to walk it up now. Played up, and that is caught. They're going to say no.
Well, they're looking for a center line violation there, and it was pretty close. Whether Durkat's ever had possession on the offensive side, the referee didn't think so.
Well, and again, he was in the air, so was any part of his body in the offensive zone, I guess would be the question there too. And obviously the referee, it's hard to see that in real time as that ball's almost bounced away. Durkat's the one playing harasser there, is now away will come Cobourg with 15 seconds left, and a timeout taken by the Kodiaks with 16 and a half left here in the second frame. 33 left on the power play as they'll now go 6-on-5, Steve, with a chance to get this game back within one before the period expires.
Yeah, they probably won't need to go 6-on-5 already being up a man here. They probably won't.
Oh, pardon me, yes, 5-on-4.
But, well, one never knows. They might go 6-on-4, but yeah, it just gives them a chance to sort of settle it down. That was a bit of a scrambly transition. They just barely got it over within the 8-second time frame, and so we'll just have to see how Owen Sound decides to defend on this. Whether they jump early or kind of wait them out, with 16 and a half seconds left. There's plenty of time here. They probably won't want to run anything till about 8 seconds here in fear that a ball that would come loose. You don't want to give up that opportunity going the other way. So we'll probably see it develop slowly, and then they'll have one particular look that they have in mind.
They will go 5-on-4, so back to the net will go Jackson Brown. I will mention, I see Connor Knock on the floor, so we'll talk about it in the intermission finally, about the thing I read about on Connor Knock. He won a Minto Cup in the Junior B division with the Napi Knights.
He won the Founders Cup with Nepean, yeah.
Yeah, with Nepean, pardon me. And then he won two Minto Cups, one in Ontario and then one out of BC, which again we'll talk about during the intermission. So well accomplished defender there in Connor Knock. That ball played, knocks it away. That goes into the corner. One chance here to fire. Blocked before he ever gets towards Dante Koulis, and that play goes for naught, and Owen Sound stays up by 2. 5 goals in the first, 5 goals in the second, puts them up 10-8 going into the third and potentially final period, Steve.
Yeah, and that's a big possession to knock down. I mean, with Mitch Gustafsson very dominating in the draw, in the circle tonight on the draws, it gives them an opportunity to get possession to start this third period and chew up the rest of the 17 seconds remaining on that man down. So that was a critical play.
That it was. Second intermission coming up next here on Rogers TV. You'll get a chance to see my interview with Owen Sound's number 33, Jackson Webster, who got a goal here tonight. Has looked great tonight for your team, Steve, and should, honestly, as you've kind of talked about, have maybe a couple more than just the one he's got so far, but we get a chance to see my interview with him pre-game. But next up, second intermission between Owen Sound and the Kodiaks here as MSL Lacrosse continues here on Rogers TV.
In baseball, there's nothing more important than making it home.
George Springer has tied the game.
Doesn't matter how you get there.
It's gone!
But I do it with style.
Boy, has he got some kind of power.
And a little swagger, too.
Because no matter where you happen to be.
Oh, what a play!
There's only one place.
Got it!
Jays fans call home.
Sportsnet. Sportsnet.
Sportsnet.
Sportsnet, home of the Blue Jays.
This year, 2 groups of veterans and 2 teams of rookies compete to renovate 4 identical houses with their own signature style.
In the ultimate neighborhood knockout, we're gonna keep things fresh.
Get down and dirty.
And bury the competition.
Rock the Buck on HGTV.
It's time to get a little messy.
Thursdays, Top Chef heads north.
Welcome to Toronto.
And when the competition hits Canada,
Poutine. They're here to fight for over $500,000.
A lot of dough on the line, right?
there are no apologies allowed.
Am I missing one? Oh my God. Woo.
Sorry, not sorry.
My job's not done until I win.
Can I continue?
Top Chef, all new, Thursdays at 9 on Bravo.
You're watching an interesting local show on Rogers TV and you want to know more. That's when you head to RogersTV.com. Our website provides more information about our programs, our hosts, our schedule, and about how you too can get involved with Rogers TV. Visit us online at RogersTV.com. With Rogers TV, you can cheer on the home team from the comfort of your living room. We'll head to the rink, the field, the court, or the pitch, so you don't have to. Tune in and cheer on your local amateur athletes on Rogers TV.
Jackson, obviously big game tonight, home and season opener for you guys. What is it like to be back playing MSL Lacrosse here for Owen Sound?
It's great. I mean, we got a couple new additions that are going to be really good for the lineup. We're just excited to get back into it now.
Obviously, again, your first game, obviously not at the Bayshore this year. You guys are playing out of Meaford and I believe Durham as well. So what is that kind of like knowing that your home's a little bit more up in flux than it was last year, but still obviously getting a chance to have that home court advantage?
Yeah, it's okay. It's a different sort of environment to play in, but you got to adapt with it, sort of embrace it the best we can and enjoy it to the full ability. This is home now.
Now, obviously, you mentioned all the new additions. You had quite a few draft picks. Obviously, your first draft pick there in Connor Knock making the team. You have also, like, I think 3 second rounds and 3 third-round picks. So lots of young guys being able to make this roster. So what is that like knowing how many young guys are going to be able to kind of infuse your lineup this year?
Yeah, it's great. Just trying to bring them up to speed as quick as possible. No different than being a young guy last year. And also adding some of those older guys into there as well. They're also really going to help push those younger guys and also just add their own element to our team, too.
Now, Jackson, my last question here for you is against Cobourg tonight. Obviously looking for your first win in your first game this season. What do you think is the big key for you guys tonight against Cobourg?
You just got to come out early and often and try and be physical. Like, don't shy away. It's tough to get your feet wet and go, but just dive in full force. Don't hesitate on anything, and we'll see where the chips fall after one.
All right, thank you so much, Jackson Webster of the Owen Sound North Stars. Good luck.
Thanks, Spencer. Take care.
All right, we'll be right back with the rest of our second intermission after this on Rogers TV.
Public transit, garbage pickup, parks and recreation programs, snow removal on your street. How can you stay informed about these and other important local services? Tune to City Council coverage on Rogers TV. See your community leaders at work on Rogers TV City Council coverage.
In hockey, only one name transcends the game. It's not Gordy, the great one, or the great 8. Not a Bobby, or a Bob. Not Sid the Kid, or this kid either. And it's not Connor, and no, not even that Connor. The one name that rises above all others is Stanley.
Lord Stanley.
Sports is life. It's clear cut. Everything's out in the open. There's nowhere to hide. I had to prove myself more than anyone else.
You must be so proud of your son. He's gonna go pro. The sky's the limit.
There's always a winner and a loser.
You cannot reach the sky in broken cleats.
Of course, I always want to be the winner. And I did reach the sky.
Norman Kwong, the first Chinese-Canadian professional football player, still holds records to this day. He retired from the sport in 1960 and later became Lieutenant Governor of Alberta.
You're watching an interesting local show on Rogers TV and you want to know more. That's when you head to RogersTV.com. Our website provides more information about our programs, our hosts, our schedule, and about how you too can get involved with Rogers TV. Visit us online at RogersTV.com.
Welcome back here to the Meaford and St. Vincent Community Center. Spencer Byers, and alongside me is Dee McCarthy. I think he's down talking to his team right now as the Owen Sound North Stars are up 10-8 on the Cobourg Kodiaks as Major Series Lacrosse begins its season for Owen Sound, at least here tonight. A couple of games played around the MSL schedule, but Owen Sound and Cobourg getting their first games in tonight. I will also mention that Connor Knock, who I did talk about during the second and first period, has quite an interesting story, and I had a chance to read a little bit about it. He won a Minto Cup, a Founders Cup, a part of the Junior B team out of Ottawa, and then won 2 Minto Cups, one for the Toronto Beaches, and then one with Coquitlam because of a error with the registering of his eligibility in the Junior A Beaches because of what they call the quote-unquote dirty affiliation. He wasn't able to play for the Beaches. So after an 8-0 start with the Beaches, he ends up going over to Coquitlam out of BC and wins another Minto Cup. So a 3-in-a-row champion of the Junior B and Junior A seasons makes his way now to the Owen Sound North Stars, who, as you've seen tonight, has been pretty good. He has for the MSL North Stars, as he was the first-round pick and first defender taken. But we'll be back with the third and potentially final period between the MSL North Stars and the Cobourg Kodiaks. Watch this here on Rogers TV.
With Rogers TV, you can cheer on the home team from the comfort of your living room. We'll head to the rink, the field, the court, or the pitch, so you don't have to. Tune in and cheer on your local amateur athletes on Rogers TV. Public transit, garbage pickup, parks and recreation programs, snow removal on your street. How can you stay informed about these and other important local services? Tune to City Council coverage on Rogers TV. See your community leaders at work on Rogers TV City Council coverage.
What would the world be without a bone marrow burger? Or if you couldn't track down the best taco truck surfers? Or never knew Worcestershire sauces and tikka masala could tick all your boxes? What if you'd missed the fried chicken with kimchi and it never melted firsthand for the pierogi grilled cheese?
It's so good.
Where would you go and what would you try if you didn't get the best tips from the tippiest guy?
You're welcome.
All new Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives, Friday night at 9 on Food Network.
This is a man's heart, a heart in desperate need of medical attention. But because 78% of Indigenous people experience racism in healthcare, he may not get the help he needs. Become an ally. Rise above racism in healthcare.
This year, 2 groups of veterans and 2 teams of rookies compete to renovate 4 identical houses with their own signature style.
In the ultimate neighborhood knockout, we're gonna keep things fresh.
Get down and dirty.
And bury the competition.
Rock the Buck on HGTV.
And welcome back here to the Meaford and St. Vincent Community Center. Third period about to be underway between the Cobourg Kodiaks and the Owen Sound North Stars. Spencer Byers, and alongside me back is Steve McCarthy. And Steve, I had a chance to talk about the Connor Knox story coming out of the break, and obviously you know a lot about it because you're the one who drafted him in the first round. So I guess kind of what was your thought on that whole situation, him being listed as ineligible to play for, I believe it was the Toronto Beaches in the junior A?
You always got to feel for the player. Unfortunately, management made an error, and the players actually, that were involved are the ones that have to pay the consequences. But Connor Knox found a home on a real strong club and was a big factor in them being able to beat Orangeville in the Minto Cup. So.
And win his second straight.
Yeah, second straight after playing both with Nepean and Burlington the year before that, and so to have a Founders and a couple of Mintos is a pretty good on the resume.
That it is. Owen Sound now start off here after killing the rest of that penalty they had coming into this period. That pass across, the shot never gets off there as it will go the other way. Attempt technically by Watson, but will not count on the score sheet. That ball played quickly up. It misses its intended target, and Caleb Martin will go out to play it. Doesn't get close enough, but it ends up in the stick there of Keeple. Played forward now to Buck, who plays it down. There for Searle. Played around McNabb now. Sanchez over, that shot. Save there as it's whistled around, I believe, and it was, so a reset here.
Off the crossbar, that one.
That shot again off the post. Where is it? It's in some feet, and it's retrieved there by Holmes. Holmes will fire again. That ball misses again, and Caleb Martin says thank you very much.
Again, that's a couple tough passes in transition on both possessions that Cobourg's had. So you certainly, if you're the coaching staff, you're going to want to have them settle a little bit and let your offense run.
As McNabb will come across the top, pass down, Buck saved, and I believe at least, and now retrieved there by the White Shirts. It's taken there by Moran Weeks, who snapped it right out of the stick there of a Cobourg Kodiak. That was Bafia.
Yeah, a couple of Ottawa boys there.
Trying to get around, just couldn't. There was Derkatz, cross top Webster. Webster fires, good save by Brown. Brown looking again for the home run ball. That one might get there. It does, but just not received by the Cobourg Kodiaks there in transition. As away will come the Kodiaks here on some offense. As that ball towards Mariner, that ball scooted away. Will it stay? It will for the second. And now should be received by Owen Sound off the shot clock. And it should be Owen Sound ball, and it is Owen Sound ball off the shot clock. Down into the corner there for Owen Sound.
Looks like Bloomberg's from.
And it is Blumberg's. Gave it off there to McNabb. 33 playing with 3 there as Webster. McNabb passed it around. Over now. Back for, I believe that's Sanchez. Sanchez will fire. McNabb with the quick stick, and that one ends up going out of play. Pounded into the pavement there as McNabb thought he had an angle and just couldn't get it around. Played over now. Mariner. Around trying to get there is Cobourg. Mariner again. Didn't end up firing, now does, and that one goes wide. That ball picked back up though by the White Shirts, and that's gonna be a shot clock. All that effort ends up coming up nothing for the Kodiaks as again, nothing came on target of Martin. Dent to the pavement though for sure. There's a nice move there by Derkatz. Derkatz over, that shot, saved by Brown. That one off of Dylan Watson.
Yeah, that shot looked like it was labeled far side along the ground, but Jackson must have extended that foot because made a nice save. And
has played back now. Thompson played over. Looking for an angle there. That shot on target, and it goes in. Thompson with the marker brings them back within 1.
And again, a nice little two-man game inside, and You know, that's something that Cobourg, you know, looked pretty good in the first period executing. Didn't have many looks there in the second, but again, just a simple little play. But as the bottom guy, you have to make a decision, and I'm not sure if that was Bloomberg's kind of got caught in no man's land in between the two, and Thompson was able to bury.
As finally Mitch Gustin loses a face-off there. Winner was Ryan Haig. As that ball might get forced loose, it ends up not, so it should be a chance here now for Cobourg back on offense to try to tie the game here. As Koulis, back for Thompson, back to Dante Koulis. Koulis will fire, that one ends up going wide, deflected, back for Mariner. Mariner down into the corner. Trying to fire there, looking to fire, now over Koulis, that one wide again, and the shot clock will go off for Cobourg. Couple different shot clock violations going against the away side. Wild will start with it here.
Yeah, Owen Sound will want to settle here and get a good offensive set. Haven't been too dangerous yet so far.
Webster looking for a pass, gets it to McNabb. McNabb back for Webster. Webster trying to get it down now for Buck. He does. Buck back for McNabb. Ends up getting out of McNabb's reach there, but they're going to say it was deflected, and it was. So McNabb will keep it.
Yeah, that'll help with the new 30, and again, they can see what they can execute here.
Rosa back for Webster. Buck in, great save by Brown on Tanner Buck, who just has not had any luck tonight.
No, it looked like Bucky was going 5-hole there, and again, Jackson Brown is.
Woods got a round knock there, but a better save by Martin. Right up for the rookie there trying to get away. Is he'll not trying to get away from Thompson? He does, and Connor Knock gets into the offensive zone. Knock now looking for a pass. He telegraphed it. Was it touched? It wasn't, but he didn't touch over. Great job there by Xander Durkatz to keep his feet over. What a pass! Scores! Dylan Watson! Top corner!
Yeah,
makes it 11-9.
That's a big goal there on almost a play that went over center. Durkatz saved it.
And you see there the coaches by Cobourg, does not interrupt you there, Steve, were upset they didn't call it on Durkatz, but it made a 3-on-2 the other way, and you see there, top cheese.
Yeah, he didn't try to overpower that shot. He just found a spot and he liked, and Jackson Brown had no chance.
Haig versus Mitch Gustin again, one again by Haig. Full mention, as Gord Chapman would say, where they keep the can of corn there on the top shelf. Not sure where you keep on the top shelf, Steve. I don't keep anything up there because I'm too short to grab it, so everything stays in the middle or lower shelves for me. My answer is if it's knee height, it's good to go. If it's anything higher, Steve, it's got to come down. Has played around now for Sanchez. McNabb now. Got about 10 left on the shot clock. McNabb gives it off to Webster. Webster looking to fire now. Put it over again for Sanchez. Sanchez trying to dance around. He will. Sanchez blocked before it got there. That ball fired across, and it's received, but trying to fend his way around there are the Kodiaks. Played over now. It's received there. Harrington will fire. That one is wide, and that one is caught. Hot off the bench by Connor Knock, who will go. Connor Knock down the floor. The first-round draft pick will fend his way into the corner, look for a pass, and give it off.
And again, just a good decision. He was on his wrong side of the floor and didn't have really a scoring opportunity.
Webster, nice fake. Webster in. Webster, great save there by Brown, who just kind of bounced it up. Off the chest like a soccer player, you could say. As Haig coming down the floor. Passed. Aggressive right now are the North Stars there in the quasi-neutral zone. Haig gets forced down. Fired around, though, to Thompson. Thompson, though, with a free walk because all the guys forward. That shot, not sure got on target. It did. No reset there. Nice move by Woods. Woods will fire. Better save again by Martin. As trying now to get away are Owen Sound. Teeple gets it lost, but he's going to get the minor to catch it.
Yeah, that's a tough penalty to take, 180 feet from your own net.
And it's Woods, too, and Woods was not happy about it. He started barking at the referee as he turned around. Moran Weeks, Webster fires around there for Sanchez, back for Webster, that one is wide, picked up by Sanchez, 5 to shoot, back for Webster, never caught, Moran Weeks will pick it up, and that should be the shot clock, and it is, but Owen Sound will get a power play out of this, and even if they don't score, Steve, they have the lead, so it chews up should be 2 minutes of what the 12:24 left here in this third period.
Yeah, we have seen both teams, Mitch Wild has got a couple shorties himself. I don't recall if Cobourg, I think they might have got a short-handed marker earlier in the game, but yet they've been very good at killing these penalties. So, again, Owen Sound's going to, certainly would like to extend that lead in the third period here. It's 12 and a half to go. So.
Chance now, though, for Owen Sound to get their first power play marker, Steve. Something they've had a lot of chances on the power play, but just no markers yet. That shot from the top, it goes sky high into the roof there for Kodiaks.
Yeah, when you're going to put that double scissor pick up the top side, you have to hit the net because you got nobody there to help on the rebound off the glass. Both of your shooters have committed down low. So
Mariner got that one whacked out of his stick into the corner, but there was no black shirt near it, so a chance now for Cobourg to play 30 seconds off this power play. They got about 15 left to kill here. As trying to get around there is Patterson. Patterson dancing. Patterson getting forced now by two different black shirts. He loses it. That ball goes into the boards. Up, and blocked now for Wild. That ball is skied and does end up getting into the stick there of Paget. We'll mention, Steve, I was going to call that scissor action because that's what we call it in basketball, but I wasn't sure if you guys had the same terminology, you do. And looks like scissor again here by Owen Sound. Watson fires, better save again by Brown. As that ball was fired, it's gonna go right by its target, but ends up being scooped there by Cobourg, getting harassed by two different black shirts. Trying to get around though, will fire. I think that one off the post or off the glove of Martin. Regardless, stays out, and away will go Owen Sound here.
Again,
about 40 left.
Nick Ellerton tried to take advantage of Dylan Watson there on the defensive side. There was a 1-on-2, and Ellerton did create a dangerous scoring opportunity, so with 30 seconds to go, Owen Sound will look to right this ship on the power play here.
Back now for Moran Weeks. Watson, back for Moran Weeks, back for Watson. Watson fires. That one is saved, so McNabb will go to retrieve. Fresh 30, 15 left in the power play. We'll see what Owen Sound does here. That pass across. Great save there by Brown as that shot quick sticked there by Webster. Fired up the floor wide open is Zach Thompson, who will now wait for the rest of that power play to elapse. You'd think that ball is missed. Goes right towards the Owen Sound bench, and Mitch Wild will pick it up. Got a chance to go here. Back to 5-on-5, however. Mitch Wild didn't pass it. I thought he did. He finally does, and it misses Gustafson. Picked back up by Wild, who looks like a giant, might I add, on the floor. And now back there for Josh Sanchez. With halfway gone this third period. 11-9 Owen Sound looking for their first win of the season in their first game of the season. And obviously home opener to mention that. That ball comes loose. Moran Weeks picks it up. He'll get the fresh 30 with the steal. Owen Sound, those got to get their offensive guys back on the floor, and they do. Durcats. Sanchez trying to get around. Back for Webster. Webster gets the screen over for McNabb. McNabb! Great save by Brown. Away goes Sanchez to retrieve it. He does. Moran Weeks. Back for Webster. McNabb looks to fire. Now looking for a pass. Almost airmailed it. Caught though by Moran Weeks. Moran Weeks back for, I thought Webster. That ball was blocked, but nobody there to retrieve it. So Moran Weeks will pick it back up. Over for Webster. Webster looking to fire. He does. Great save. Moran Weeks there again. Another 30 for Owen Sound. Great ball retention here by the North Stars.
Yeah, and again, Kodiak defense is gassed here, although I'm sure the offense on the Owen Sound side is as well. But
as Webster around, Webster in, doesn't go. I'm not sure it beat him anyway, but he's gonna say Webster stepped in, so everybody will go to the benches, and both teams will thank their lucky stars that nobody stayed on the floor there. As again, you mentioned both guys were gassed there. You'd say both sets of guys were gassed. As Woods played it for Mariner, but that one got stopped. As looking for a penalty there was Pageant.
He got the ball stick ripped right out of his hand, so obviously the referee didn't see it or didn't feel that it was as egregious as Colton Paget did.
Trying to get away there. That shot doesn't end up getting on target. Buck did hit the deck, as that shot, I believe, was by Josh Rosa. As dashing up the floor come the Kodiaks. That does miss Woods, but he's able to retrieve it as it goes towards the boards. Woods trying to get around there. Up now for Mariner. Over. Back for Dante Koulis. That ball misses Mariner. Off the top now. Looking to fire there is Patterson. That shot, I believe, never got towards Martin. Mariner's going to have to fire from a mile away. Save there by Martin, who traps it and brings it back to himself. As that ball's now played over, and away will go Josh Rosa and the North Stars as Gustafson. Over there for Webster. Webster. Fired back from McNabb.
Now we got 3 righties on the floor here, which you don't see very often. A little bit of a miscue on the change.
As that ball over for McNabb. McNabb gonna have to fire. That ball is wide, and that will be retrieved there by Cobourg. As they try to make it down the floor, it's finally fired up and caught. That shot ends up being saved there by Martin. I believe the attempt by Woods in the end. Again, Caleb Martin's been very good down the stretch here in this third period. Only have allowed 1 so far. Also some shot clock violations for Cobourg, has really taken to the sand of the hourglass here in this potentially final period as Isaiah Moran-Weeks played it back. I thought that was back for him, and ends up going to Josh Sanchez there in the back. Sanchez trying to make a dash towards the net. Nice move. Sanchez in! Great save by Brown. Who's also need to be good here in this third period to keep his team in it.
Yeah, he's in an exceptional period there, and Josh Sanchez looked like he had one there.
Trying to get towards the net. Never ends up getting a chance to fire there was Jake Harrington. As Cobourg got 14 left to work here on the shot clock, trying to dance away. That pass over, blocked before it ever got on target, and away will go Mitch Gustafson. The shot clock should go. It's retrieved there as it will just be fired down the floor there by the netminder in Jackson Brown. So wait a second here. They're gonna do, I think, a water break, and I think there's a malfunction maybe with the equipment there at Jackson Brown. I'm not 100% sure. He does come straight to the bench, so he may need a quick water break and breather. So both teams will take a chance to talk to their head coaches here.
Yeah, so I mean, these next couple of possessions are very key for both teams. You've got Owen Sound here with 6 minutes to go, basically up to, you know, if you can get it to 3, that puts a lot of pressure on Cobourg to try to, you know, take some low percentage opportunities to try to cut that margin quickly. So, you know, you certainly would rather have a 3-goal lead than a 1-goal lead. So that next goal for is pretty critical at this stage of the game, no matter, depending on who may get it.
5:56 left here in this third period. Both teams will get back to it here. You saw there on your screen. Tonight, Owen Sound hosts Cobourg, and then tomorrow night they play at Cobourg to finish the home and home. And then down the schedule, Steve, I also saw the Six Nations Chiefs, who were obviously in the Mann Cup last year and expect to be probably maybe back this year with how talented their team is, yet they are still missing some guys to the NLL season, I believe.
Yeah, that's going to come to a close tonight. The finals.
That shot saved there by Brown. Comes back as Webster, the only one who saw it, and Webster caught it. So we got a fresh 30 for Owen Sounders. Had great ball retention in the final half of this third period. Played down there for Buck. Buck trying to come across the top. Played over now for McNabb. McNabb. Fake, fire, scores! Jake McNabb! Is that his 4th? It is his 4th.
Yep. And again, Jake is just a pure scorer, and he did a great job creating some separation on the defender here. You'll see him slide down, find his little spot there, a little seam. Bucky feeds it, and Jake pushes in, drives in, and then steps back and creates about a 5 or 6 foot buffer there where he's able to really release that shot without anybody in front of him.
That makes it now a 3-goal lead for Owen Sound with 5:28 left in this third, potentially final period. So Cobourg's got to go fast as Nakamura, I thought, won that faceoff, but he ends up winning it right to a black shirt. As Gustafson backpedals and gives it off to Gasparetti. who will march his way down as he'll wait for some offensive options and give it off. Rosa down in for Weil, who's still on the floor. Played around now. Gets to Rosa's stick. As Moran Weeks gets it over, 5 left to shoot here. Wild's gonna have to fire from a mile away. Gives off to Moran Weeks to fire. Moran Weeks gonna have to fire. He never does, as the quick stick does work for Owen Sound, just not quick enough, as Rosa almost had his first of the night.
Yeah, they needed another second on that shot clock. A real nice feed, but yeah, they just, the clock management was a little lacking. So, but they'll take that. If it's there, you know, within regulation, that'd be a nice looking goal.
And Cobourg's got to go fast here. They only have about 4.5 left here in this third frame. As Mariner may just have to fire. He gives it over. That shot saved by Martin, and the rebound comes out, and Woods able to get them back within 2 as they now get to double digits.
Yeah, that's a tough one to give up. Again, big save, but again, it's from the outside. The Owen Sound defenders really got to take those shooting lanes away. You give up a shot with probably 1 or 2 seconds left. Caleb can't handle the rebound, and no box out on the rebound either. And
that's maybe Caleb's first or second rebound he's given up tonight. He's been very good on those tonight.
No, that was certainly no real fault of the goaltender. It's just unfortunate that, and it ends up going to number 27, who's pretty adept, whether there's a goalie in the net or not.
Yeah, Aaron Woods, who's already got his third tonight. It's just 3-on-1 the other way. Gustafson, great save by Woods. Gustafson's got to pick it up here. He does, as he plays it to nobody in the end, and it ends up getting into the stick there of one of the defenders. Yeah, unlucky there for Owen Sound on that 3-on-1, you could say.
It's a bit of an unfortunate. Gussie had a good look there, but again, you can't be lackadaisical once you retrieve that loose ball. Got to protect the ball and be in a good body position to make that first pass, and he wasn't.
Looking to go there is the netminder, Brown. He doesn't go yet. He'll go back to the net. Mariner right off the helmet there of Martin as it bounces all the way down to him. He'll now have to go retrieve it. That should be a reset, and it is. So he'll fire it up now for Mariner. Does he go now? He's looking. He hasn't gone yet. Played into the middle. Thompson, saved again by Martin. Trying to get a hold of it here. No, Woods passed across. No, it's deflected. Brown still in his net. About 3 left here. Ball picked up now by the white shirts. Mariner. Brown for Haig. Haig looking for an option here. Over for Mariner. Down low. It's Thompson. Thompson over. That shot by Koulis, saved by Caleb Martin, who will now take a little walk. He gives it off now to Wild, who goes towards the ball. As you teach every young lacrosse and basketball player, go to the ball. Don't make your goalie handle it, and don't make your rebounder dribble it. Go towards the ball.
Good job on transition. Mitch Wild settled things down. Colton Padgett made sure he had a clear path to the center, and
back for Webster now. Webster, nice move. Shot, save, rebound. No, he stepped in. Webster almost had his second. Again, he deserves a second, as that ball's fired up and it misses, and it's handcuffed and received by Martin. Caleb now looking for the home run ball. It's bounced. It hits Buck. Buck caught it, and he's going to try to go. And Buck will spin and wait and give it off there to Dylan Watson. Watson back for Tanner Buck, who hasn't got on the goal sheet yet. As Buck played down. Trying to look to fire here. Over now. That shot deflected wide there. That was by Tanner Buck, and Buck will just chase it, and the over and back will go, and Owen Sound thought it got deflected. No,
it did get deflected.
It did, and they're and wait a second here. Owen Sound can't believe
it. The 30 is over anyways, so it really is inconsequential, but yeah, it certainly shouldn't have been blowing down right away.
Well, Cobourg pulled the netminder, Jackson Brown, so 6-on-5 it will go for the Cobourg Kodiaks. As cruising in will go Aaron Woods. As the Kodiaks got to find 2 here in the last 2 minutes. Mariner fired across for Thompson. It misses, gets whacked into the corner. It's finally retrieved there by Blumbergs. Blumbergs will fire as he almost got forced into the net, or into the restricted area. That ball goes into the corner. The netminder does come back into the net and actually catches that ball as Woods will walk and go. He gives it off now there to Dante Koulis. So away will come Cobourg as that ball is skied and lands into the stick there. That ball was deflected into the corner. Koulis gets a hold of it. That pass across, never got caught by Thompson, picked up by Wild, and Wild's gonna go, but back in the net is the netminder there in Jackson Brown, but Wild's got a breakaway. Wild in, score! Mitch Wild, having a wild night. Is that his third?
That's Mitch's third goal of the night. Yeah,
Only transition.
And again, that's just a huge goal for the Owen Sound club here with 1:11 to go, and obviously the astute free agent signing by the Owen Sound North Stars of a veteran Mitch Wild has come in handy here, and got to credit most of that to Greg Harnett, a guy that was a teammate of Mitch's in Calgary in the NLL, and he was really the catalyst to be able to seal the deal to help get Mitch here.
Astute by the guy who made the deal. Gotta love that. And obviously, again, has a big night tonight, and you've needed it here, 13-10. As Owen Sound, it took till July 4th to get their first win, July 6th to get their first home win. But this year is a new year, and this year is a new team. They are going to get their first win, as what a play there by Josh Sanchez. He looked to get his first. They're going to say, I think he stepped in, so they will not give him that marker, but what a play there on Brown to get that one by him. Now we'll go back to 6-on-5 here as Brown goes away, but immediately stolen by Owen Sound, and Connor Knock will whack away. Well, he had a free net, you thought.
They have 7 players, so they are going to get called here. They might as well have kept 7 on. You don't get a credit for taking them off the floor, but but they'll just wind this down and call it a night. Yeah.
As that will be the game. The Owen Sound North Stars win the opening game of their season, 13-10. And again, a team that only got 3 wins last year is a team, and got those 3 wins in a row, might I add, July 4th, 6th, and 13th against Brampton, Oakville, and Cobourg. Get their first win of the season here in May. And I will also mention that it took them to the 9th game to get that first win, Steve, for your club. This year it takes 1. And you mentioned lots of new faces, lots of young guys, and it also must be great for you as the GM to finally kind of see them on the floor, and not just be on the floor, but work on the floor.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's so much work that goes in behind the scenes, so to be able to have today where, although it was a busy, hectic day, to make sure everything was taken care of, yeah, to see the guys together and get that opportunity to play together for the first time this year and really be together for the first time, and, yeah, to get a win is a cherry on top.
That it is. Caleb Martin gets his first win of the MSL season. Obviously, as you mentioned, coming off that knee injury. He looked good tonight in spurts. Obviously, that first period, maybe one to forget for him, but maybe also for his counterpart there on the other end, as both teams let up 5 goals, but I thought he cleaned it up a lot in the final 40. Oh,
yeah, both goalies were outstanding. Caleb made some big saves there in the third period, and, yeah, really was full marks for the win. And Jackson Brown was... you know, he probably was the player of the game for Cobourg as well. He had an outstanding effort.
Especially in that third period. And I will also mention Jackson Webster, who I spoke to during the pregame. You saw that between the second and third periods. He had a great night tonight. Only 1 marker. Jake McNabb got 4. Very impressive night, I'd say, by your offense. Again, 13 tonight in the opener. And tomorrow night down in Cobourg, hopefully the offense shows up just like they did tonight.
Yeah, I mean, transition was the key, and it's going to have to be. And Mitch Wild, obviously, with 3 goals, that's probably the first time we've had a transition player in our brief history record a hat trick. So, again, big dividends there from Mitch.
Well, I won't keep you any longer, Steve. I'll let you go celebrate with your guys. 13-10 win for Owen Sound. Again, play tomorrow down in Cobourg. But for Steve McCarthy, myself, Spencer Byers, and the great Mark Perry behind the camera, we'll see you with our next Owen Sound North Stars game, which will be next weekend, I believe, the 31st. But for tonight, that's it. MSL Lacrosse continues here on Rogers TV. Stay tuned for next.
How many shots did they get on the...
With Rogers TV, you can cheer on the home team from the comfort of your living room. We'll head to the rink, the field, the court, or the pitch, so you don't have to. Tune in and cheer on your local amateur athletes on Rogers TV.
It's time to get a little messy.
Thursdays, Top Chef heads north.
Welcome to Toronto.
And when the competition hits Canada,
Poutine. They're here to fight for over $500,000.
A lot of dough on the line, right?
there are no apologies allowed.
Am I missing one? Oh my God. Woo.
Sorry, not